Welcome in the Vikings Now. I am your host, Patrick Siepman, doing a little at-home piece for you guys actually today. There's just been a ton of Vikings rumors and Vikings news that I want to get to, especially regarding Vikings training camp and the joint practices that we have had going on with the San Francisco Niners. Christian Darrisaw, he is getting compared to Trent Williams, and Trent Williams actually spoke about Christian Darrisaw, and I have quotes for you guys coming up later. And then also in today's video, I have my notes from yesterday's practice, and I have my notes from today's practice, kind of summarizing and giving you guys everything you need to know about the Vikings San Francisco 49ers joint practices. It was my off day. I just said, screw it. I'm going to get you guys the content you guys deserve because it's very interesting stuff. And you know, enough of this. Let's just get right into it. If you guys are not subscribed already, please do. I put a goal on this video. Put the goal at 50 subscribers. I promise you that there's 50 of you guys right now watching this video who aren't subscribed. If you guys want daily videos, me to hop on an at-home video on my off day, hit that subscribe button. It will keep me motivated to just keep on getting you guys the best videos that I can create. Now getting into what Trent Williams said about Christian Darrisaw. He was asked about him after practice by a couple reporters, and he said this. Trent Williams on Christian Darrisaw. He says, I love Christian Darrisaw. He's a great kid. He's open and willing to learning. He's physically gifted. I do see a lot of myself in him, especially the young Trent. Our conversations are me just kind of helping him more into a more consistent professional. He followed that up by saying, it's his second year. He took a huge leap from year 1 to year 2, and it's just the little things. He's such an athlete, he's such an athlete that he overlooks the technical part of the game. Because he can't just wake up and win reps. I thought that was very interesting. Trent Williams pretty much saying Christian Darrisaw, he pretty much relies too much on his natural talent, and he thinks Christian Darrisaw, if he can get the technical part of the game down, he will become a very, very good left tackle in the NFL for years to come. And I've been saying this all offseason. Listen, I think Christian Darrisaw, he has all pro potential. If you look at just his frame, I mean, if you just look at Christian Darrisaw and Trent Williams next to each other, they look very similar. He really does look like a young Trent Williams. Christian Darrisaw, he was asked about it. He said he always admired Trent Williams growing up and really replicated his game after him. And honestly, you can really see it with the way he plays football. You know, both of them, I kind of describe them as if they get their hands on you, you're done. And that's kind of what Christian Darrisaw is. He's not the most technical guy like Trent Williams was saying yet, but that just comes with reps. Obviously, he is a raw talent, but the fact that Trent Williams can see the difference between years 1 and year 2, it really says something. Now, before I get into my notes and takeaways from practice yesterday with the 49ers and my notes and takeaways from today, I would really appreciate it, guys, if you like this video. It's kind of the number one way for us to get this video out to more and more Vikings fans. And hey, the more likes I get on this video and the more subscribers that we get would just mean more videos for you guys. So go ahead, hit the like button. Best way to help me out, best way to make me look good for my bosses. And hey, more likes, more subscribers we get off this video, more at-home videos, more videos in general. I'm trying to get daily videos. So go ahead, like this video. It will really help me a lot. When you like it, gets it out to more Vikings fans. But now let's get into my notes and takeaways from yesterday's practice. Really, my number one takeaway from yesterday's practice is kind of getting all the information from all the beat reporters and everybody that was there. Justin Jefferson was the best player on the field yesterday. Justin Jefferson, pretty much, he couldn't be stopped. And if you go on Twitter and you look at some of these highlights from these routes he was running, his releases, they're just absolutely disgusting. I couldn't even imagine personally actually lining up and trying to defend Justin Jefferson with how just nasty his release game is. His feet and his footwork are so smooth and pure. And I swear, when I'm watching him, I feel like I'm watching a prime Davante Adams. I think Jefferson, I think he's really going to put people on the map that he is in that Cooper Kupp, Davante Adams tier. I think maybe most people and us Vikings fans would already put him in the tier, but I think he wants to be undisputed. I'm with those two guys, and I'm next up. Kind of a side note, the 49ers secondary was missing 2 of their top corners, but still, the Vikings wide receivers, and especially Justin Jefferson, just dominated the 49ers secondary all day yesterday. Also, another shout out to the Vikes D-line. They were dominant yesterday. Talking about the two big dogs, Danielle Hunter and Zadarius Smith, they looked fantastic. And the Vikings actually, they were lining up those two on the same side of the ball on multiple occasions, kind of playing Zadarius Smith at like a left defensive tackle and then Danielle Hunter at like the left end, obviously switch it to the right side, and they looked great. Zadarius Smith actually beat Trent Williams yesterday on multiple reps, which is good to see him. Kind of coming off an injury, you do have question marks about guys like that, how they will respond following an injury, but he looks great so far. He didn't dominate Trent Williams, but he definitely beat him on a couple reps. And hey, Trent Williams, he's a 99 overall in Madden. That's a good sign that he's beating him. So shout out to those guys. Ezra Cleveland, if we're talking about the offensive line, there's a pretty viral video among Vikings Twitter of him just getting absolutely blown up yesterday by, I think it was Javon Kinlaw. So he struggled yesterday, but on the other side, the other guard, right guard, Ed Ingram, talked about him yesterday. He was getting first team reps and he looked good. So I want to ask you guys this. How impressed were you with the Vikings from joint practices with the 49ers? Just scale it 1 to 10. Do you guys think these are important reps? And how impressed have you been with just the highlights you've seen and the reports that I'm giving you right now? Are you impressed with the Vikings? 49ers solid team. Scale it 1 to 10. Now, my notes from today's practice. I'm double dipping on Justin Jefferson. He dominated again today. There is multiple videos now again coming out today, just him dominating the 49ers secondary. I want to kind of address this really quick. An MVP season is not out of the question with a guy like Justin Jefferson. Cooper Kupp, he kind of put the receivers on the map last season. And obviously receivers have always been important, but I've always kind of viewed receivers as icing on the cake instead of the actual cake. I think it may be opposite now. I think having weapons in the NFL is one of the biggest keys to securing victories and building something. So with all the media kind of shifting towards understanding that receivers are hugely important to winning in the NFL, if Jefferson could just dominate in similar fashion that Cooper Kupp did last year, put up 1,800 yards, lead the league, go triple crown, catches, yards, and touchdowns, I think an MVP season could be coming. Now, I understand we were talking about Christian Darrisaw earlier. Nick Bosa gave him the business today a little bit. You know, Christian Darrisaw, obviously with Trent Williams kind of giving him praise, Nick Bosa kind of shut the door on that for a couple reps. He put him in Kirk Cousins' lap a couple times. But hey, that's Nick Bosa. And what I really like about this, if you look at the edges that Christian Darrisaw has been going against, Danielle Hunter, Nick Bosa, Zadarius Smith, obviously the two guys from the Vikings, Hunter and Smith, going against them every day in practice, it's pretty damn cool that it's kind of like the iron sharpens iron type of thing. So pretty sweet that Christian Darrisaw is getting all those solid reps. Followed up, Cameron Dantzler. He made a couple of nice plays today. I'm not going to lie. He had a sweet pass breakup against Brandon Ayuk. And then also he had a nice little deflection, tipped it up. I believe it was Shannon Sullivan, kind of swooped under there, got a little diving interception. And honestly, my overall takeaways over these joint practices is good for the Niners and good for the Vikings. I think it was just iron sharpens iron. It's a great experience for players and coaches, especially Kevin O'Connell, kind of giving himself a measuring stick with a great head coach like Kyle Shanahan. And then also the Vikings getting great reps against the Niners defensive line, because the Vikings, I would probably say the Vikings' weakest position group is still around the offensive line or secondary. So just getting great reps there. Secondary getting great reps against Debo and Ayuk. And then obviously the Niners secondary getting great reps against guys like Justin Jefferson, KJ Osborne, and Adam Thielen. Hey, this is the end of the video. I would love to see how many people made it to the end of the video. If you did, comment real one down below, because you are a real one. If you make it to the end of the video, it helps me out a lot, getting that watch time up. Obviously, if you guys haven't already, subscribe to the channel and like today's video. It really helps me out more than you can understand, or I guess you can understand it, but more than you know. It really helps me out, gets me looking good in front of my bosses when we're having meetings. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. As always, Skol Vikes.